Hey guys, welcome to a very special episode of Boxmining. Today we're going to talk about sports and the entertainment space and tokenizing that. So today we have Chiliz CEO Alexander Dreyfus, and we're going to be exploring the project in a lot of detail about why we want to tokenize sports teams, what's been happening right now, because the project's already underway and they've already got some big partners signed up like Juventus Football Club is huge, West Ham United, and a lot of other sports teams as well. So we're going to talk a lot about in that detail. But first, let's start off with a passion. What's a passion driving behind this project?
Hi, Michael. Thanks for the invitation. The passion comes actually from the fact that I'm an internet entrepreneur for the last 24 years. So Chiliz, which is, I hate the word project, by the way, because we are more like a company with a product. But I've been working in that space for 24 years. The team and the people around the company as well been for 10, 15 years. So we are driven mainly by the innovation, by the fact that we use technology to create something that doesn't exist, that didn't exist before. And that's really what excites us every day in the morning. It's how can we use tech to create and to innovate. That's really the I will say the motto.
Okay, so using that technology, so we have the ability to tokenize anything and everything right now. So I've been asked this question before, how do you tokenize an esports team? How do you tokenize a sports team? So can you tell me a little bit about how Chiliz works?
Yeah, so we have actually two names. We have Chiliz, this one, which is the name of the company and the token. And we have Socios, socios.com, which is going to be the name of the consumer-facing product. Just a little bit of history for the guys that don't necessarily know what socios means. In Spanish, socios means partner, member, associate. And the fans of Real Madrid and the fans of Barcelona are actually called socios because they are the one today, it's already the case for the last 50 years, who are voting for who is going to be the president and voting for the board and stuff like this. And unlike Arsenal or unlike West Ham United that are owned by billionaires or whatever, the Real Madrid and Barcelona, they're a non-profit team run by the socios. So we inspired our concept from that. We created a platform where you and I can buy what we call fan tokens. And the fan tokens are tokens issued by the teams. And these tokens give you a right to vote on decision of the club. So we partner with Juventus, Paris Saint-Germain, West Ham, Roma. We have more teams that will be announced in the next few weeks, Spanish teams and some other country. And by doing this, you give a voice, you give a power to the fans. The point is 99.9% of the sports fan will never be in the stadium, if not in the city of the club. And yet the clubs wants to get closer to their teams and the clubs want to get closer to the fans and the fans want to get closer to the team. So the idea was really to create a digital asset, a bridge, a link between the clubs and the fans.
So it's the concept of the fans participating in decisions of the club. It's not new. It's actually being done in Spain. That's pretty cool. But you're trying to take that and use technology to tokenize existing other teams that haven't have this kind of socios of culture there yet, and you're bringing that to the existing fans of these clubs. So you mentioned Juventus, West Ham. So now it's all about kind of getting the fans to be able to make decisions. But of course, the clubs also have to give away some power too, right? So, how much rights power does the fans have?
So that's the irony of what we're doing. A lot of people always ask us, but if we buy a fan token, is it a share? Are we a shareholder? It would be so cool if we have a share of the team. Well, the answer is no, because if you have a share of the team, it will be a security, first of all, and we don't do securities, and it will kill the whole business model. Secondly, when you are a shareholder, the only time you can vote, it's once a year at the General Assembly, and you can vote only to validate the accounts and who's going to be the CEO. You cannot vote anything else. What we do is much more fan-driven. So we managed to convince the teams, because at the end, don't forget, we are just a platform. We are agnostic. We are neutral. We are connecting the fans, connecting the clubs, but we are motivating and we are guiding and we are pushing the clubs to have a commitment towards the fans, to offer them a voice and a power. So what kind of things fans will be able to vote on? Of course, it's not going to be, and definitely not at first, about who's going to be the next coach, which player we should hire. That will not happen. But it's mainly about cosmetic. What color will be the jersey? Where should we play in Asia next year? It will be the music in the stadium. It will be in an exhibition match that we organize or another competition that will be organized. Which team, which player could play for that? So again, there is one team, I cannot disclose which one, but there is one team that wants to have like almost daily votes based on the like almost a tele-reality show they want to do. So the point is, clubs wants to give more power to their fans, because today they use Twitter, they use Facebook, but that's a one-way relationship. I'm feeding you with information and I'm getting likes. Okay, but likes are either bought and they are not valuable because we don't know who is behind. The clubs, they see what we do, and I know it sounds both crazy and naive, and I agree, but they see what we do as an alternative to the way they engage with their fans, because you spend $5, $10 to own 1 fan tokens or 10 fan tokens. You have a vested interest in the team that you're supporting. And because you own that, because it is yours and it's yours forever, at least till it works, you have a vested interest, and your voice is more valuable than a follow or a like on Facebook, on Twitter. And also because now you have a link with the team can connect better with you, which they cannot with Facebook and Twitter. Funny enough, on Facebook, if you have 30 million fans on the Facebook page, you as the owner of the page, you have to pay Facebook to reach your own audience. And they don't want that at all. So we are really like a complete different approach. And that's what clubs want, because at the end, the clubs that we've signed, we didn't force them. They were very happy to be part of it.
Nice. Basically, a club can give out these points, and fans can participate. So that fan tokens, they can participate, almost feel like they're kind of running stuff out of the team. Okay.
Influence. I like to say that they are influencers.
All right. Okay. So they're influencing the decision-making process. Now, is it one man, one vote? Because obviously, if you have more tokens, you should have more voting power, right? But is there a fear that there might be like whales or something that's trying to like kind of overly express their influence in this situation?
Definitely. So it is it is one token, one vote. Token are not divisible, by the way. So you cannot have 0.5 tokens. But there is a cap, not on ownership, but there is a cap. There is a small cap on ownership, but most importantly, there is a cap on voting. So you may own 1,000 tokens, because it will give you other advantages that we're going to provide, rewards, merchandising, discount, etc. But for the voting part of it, which goes through the blockchain as well, this is cap. It will be like 50 or something like that. So if you have 1,000 tokens, it will worth 50 votes. If you have 50 tokens, it will worth 50 votes. We wanted to make sure that for integrity and fairness of the vote, we have to protect the clubs and the fans.
Okay, so there is a measure in place. Like, okay, there's a maximum number of votes before maximum of coins and the maximum number of votes a single individual can have. All right, so. Now, how does this whole process work? You know, how's the app progress? What's it like? What's the voting procedure like?
App, if you go on my Twitter or on the Chiliz or Socios Twitter, you will find videos of the app. The app is actually 97% more or less done. So we spent the last 18 months, and that's why we were very much under the radar. We raised a lot of money last year. We made a lot of advancement behind the scene. But funny enough, we are not a very public project for a simple reason. We didn't do a public sale last year, so we did only private placement. So the product is ready. Product will be launched in 2 months and a half, with more teams already that we have announced yet. And you're going to be able to buy these fan tokens. You're going to be able to vote. You're going to have, there is already, and I hope we can put somewhere in the YouTube link, the commercial, for example, that Juventus did. So if you go on the Juventus Twitter, Juventus Facebook, you will see a TV commercial, a video commercial of our app promoted by Juventus.
Interesting. All right.
And that's very important. And we got 40,000 registration after that of pre-order of the app. So
nice.
The idea is, I know it's gonna sound cocky. I'm French. I'm allowed, but we're gonna be one of the most, I will say, at least one of the biggest blockchain-based mobile app in the next few months, definitely in the next 12 months. Because yes, 100% we're gonna have 100,000 users in the first 3 or 4 months, and hopefully 1 million users. Not every day, of course, but it's gonna be significant. So yeah, app is done. We are launching a very, very cool feature. I think I showed it to you in Taiwan. We have this Pokemon Go kind of feature where we are airdropping millions of tokens all over the world. So someone that is in Shanghai, in Beijing, in Hong Kong, in Sweden, in France, in Latin America is going to be able to hunt. We call that token hunt. Going to be able to hunt for his Chiliz token or his Juventus token. And that's a real valuable token that is getting collected in the app, and that gives you a right to vote as well.
Okay, so you're doing that. You're hunting. You're getting the fans to hunt around the world for these club tokens. All right, so that's kind of the free way they can participate. So they don't have to be they can commit their time and energy to do so. And you're trying to drive a lot of blockchain adoption this way, right? Because you're trying to get people who are not into crypto into an app that's very easy to use. So now that they have this, right? They have tokens, but there's a lot of different tokens. So let's talk about the token use cases. So we have the Chiliz token, and we have the different tokens for each individual club. So how does this whole economy work out?
So think about Binance. Someone said to me 3 weeks ago, and I love that. We are the Binance of sports. It's a bit, it's a stretch, obviously, but more or less, Chiliz is BNB, and we are doing Launchpad for each teams. We are doing an IEO. It's called Fan Token Offering (FTO). It's a trademark actually we have that we have to fight against Financial Times in the European registry, but we won.
Nice.
And so we organize FTOs. So the fan tokens are not currencies, to be honest. They are more like a digital asset, meaning that when you own one, it's almost like a staking rather than spending. So you own one, it gives you rights to vote, give you access to merchandising, give you rewards and stuff like this. But when you vote, you don't spend your token. You don't pay to vote. You just own it. So every fan tokens are actually tradable only against Chiliz. So you're going to have Chiliz/Juve, Chiliz/PSG. So the whole ecosystem that we are running and launching is based off the Chiliz utility token. And that ecosystem is what we do, at least at first. And that will evolve in the next few years. One of our evolution of what we want to achieve is that each club will become a node in the blockchain that we are building. And when I say blockchain, it's a permission chain right now. And you think Libra and people say, oh, that's bad. It doesn't matter. The idea is if we can build a network where there is hundreds of clubs that are part of it, and Chiliz is the fuel that run that network, that's what we want to achieve.
Right. Okay, so that's a long-term goal. Oh, it's almost like the Binance. They kind of build a Binance chain, etc., and their own platform, and you're issuing out these kind of fan token offerings. Okay, so who decides? Where does the funds go? If a club issues a fan token offering, do you guys take a cut? Does it go back to Chiliz? How does that work?
More like a traditional IEO or whatever. So we mint, let's say, 100 tokens. For each team. Each team has a different amount based on the popularity, the potential. Each team has a different price. We announced, I think, for West Ham, it will be £1. For Roma, we announced last week, it will be €2. It will be more or less always that range. The question is, do they have 1 million token, 10 million token? That's the question mark. So we mint these tokens. There is a limited amount of fan tokens. We sell most likely around 30% during the FTO, and that's the so-called circulating supply, if you want. And the money, I will not say the money raised because it's not a fundraising at all. It's a sale of a service because the service is available from day one on the platform. So there is not, and it's not like Juventus raise money. They don't need money. So they're selling a utility token. They're selling a digital asset. And the sell is a revenue for them. So it's a revenue that goes to the company the same way that when you buy a ticket or a jersey, it's a revenue for them. It's exactly the same. Instead of selling jersey, they're selling a digital asset. So revenue goes to them. It's paid in Chiliz, most of it. We take a percentage. That's our business model. So we take a cut, like the Apple Store or like an exchange. We take a commission of the transaction that is made on our platform. And that's our revenue. And out of that, that's how we create our token economics and token velocity.
Got it. So they do the fan token offering, and then Then they sell that to the fans. The fans hold it and they can use the app, and then they can start engaging with the club on day one. Now, okay, so that engagement of the club, so every club will have a different type of engagement almost, right? Because they have their own rules, they have their own kind of decisions, they want their own fans to do something. Is that true?
Yeah, it's so we have a club that's signed and that we haven't announced yet. It's a very big club, and in their contract they added a confidentiality clause where we, as a company, Chiliz or Socios, we cannot disclose to make sure that we cannot disclose to other clubs what kind of survey and what kind of engagement they're gonna do. And when the guys started to tell me that, I was like, that's cool. I can see that the clubs are going to compete to engage more against each other and to engage their fan more, even more. So if, and that's a big if in the next 2-3 years we do well our job, you will actually, it's gonna benefit the fans because the club's gonna try to compete to offer more to their fans to retain, engage, acquire more fans as well. And you're a man of content. We expect a lot of the sports industry to actually pick up on what we do and creating content every week about, hey, look at the fan token of Juventus went up 20% following the match or following the announcement that they fire or hired that player, or it went down 13% because of X or Y reason. So there will be a new angle of content. The same way you are talking every single day about BTC going up or down, sports media are going to be able to talk about a new angle of sports team going up and down, which is actually the reflection of the appetite of the global fans towards the teams. And that's going to be a very important part of what we do.
That's going to be crazy. I mean, I can see both good and bad coming out of it because people can go wild over the value of this fan token going up and down. So,
yeah, it's again, because we will have cap, because there is a significant KYC, because it's a little bit first it's regulated as well, but it's a bit of a closed environment. It's not fully decentralized, at least at first. We have to be careful. We don't want this to do by 20, multiple 20, because that would be very dangerous.
Yeah, I mean, people can lose and win a lot on this. So,
but there is a service attached to the thing that you buy. So as long as the service is provided, it doesn't matter.
Recently, you've been doing an event in Seoul. So you're calling me all the way from Seoul. What are you guys doing there?
So this Friday, in 2 days, we have there is the match of Juventus versus the K-League, the Korean League All-Stars team. And Juventus is coming with their what they call the first team, so all the top players, including Ronaldo. And it has 13 years hasn't happened a match like this, or 12 years in Korea. So the tickets, the 55,000 tickets were sold out in 2 hours or even less, I think, like 2-3 weeks ago. And for us, Chiliz, we are the official, Chiliz and Socios, actually, we have the two brands, are the official cryptocurrency partners. We have LED, you will see during the match that will be broadcasted, of course, in Korea and outside. You will see during the match, you will see Chiliz official token of Juventus in Korean and in English, I think. We have activation in the stadium. So we have a booth where you can come and take a pictures with the other players, like you put your head, and it's Chiliz and Socios around it. There is many activation like that we are doing. We are partners of all of this. We actually produce a lot of content on our social media on that. But this is it's the early days, it's the early stage. We haven't even launched our app. So when the app will be launched in a couple of months, we're gonna really ramp up and invest much more in marketing. And again, we have 5 years ahead of us, because most of the deal we have with these teams is at least 5 years. So we can do a lot of things in the next years.
Okay. So we're talking about this. So let's say the hypothetical solution, the app launches. I'm a fan of Juventus. I want to buy their token. What makes me want to buy more tokens? Let's say I bought one token. I'm like, okay, that's it. I got one.
So the more you own, first you can get one for free. For example, the 55,000 people that are in the stadium in Turin will get one token for free. But the idea, of course, is like in any businesses, you give one for free because you expect them to buy more after. Why would want people buy more? Is because it's going to give you more reward behind it. What does it mean? So you are based in Hong Kong. So I have 4 information about you. You are based in Hong Kong. You own 10 tokens of Juventus. You never sold them, never trade them. So you're a loyal fan. And you're participating to all the votes that we have on the platform. Thanks to these 4 information that we have on you, we're going to create a scoring system. and I'm gonna rank you. And suddenly, Michael is the top influencer of Juventus, number 128, is in Hong Kong. Because of that, suddenly I gave you a social status for Juventus, for West Ham, or any other team, and you can compete with other fans in your city, in your region. And the more you're in the top tier, of course, the more rewards. We're going to invite you in events, for example, in Korea or in Singapore, or we're going to give you access to something that you didn't have access before. So for the teams, it's a way to reward and recognize and award their fans globally, and it's very scalable. And that's the idea that why fans can eventually buy more and more tokens and be more and more involved.
Right. So it's always this kind of give and take. So if I see other people getting some preferred treatment, then I'm like, okay, why? And then because they're ranked higher, and then maybe I want more fan tokens.
Yeah. It's pure gamification, but it's a gamification where it's not anymore a game. It's about influencing and being part of the community of the team that I like.
Where can people learn more about Chiliz?
I guess, I don't like the Chiliz.com website, to be fair. So I guess our Twitter account is probably the best because there is a lot of information. I actually suggest people to follow me because I probably give too much more information than I should. My CMO doesn't like that. But I like to share as much as I can because at the end, we are trying to build a community and, we are trying to onboard you, not as an investor, but as a user. So that's important for us to share that.
Awesome. So let me pop up your Twitter handle right now on your side. So guys, follow Alexandre Dreyfus. I love pronouncing French names, but I always butcher them. So anyways, guys, follow him on Twitter. He gives a lot. I've been following you for the better half of a year now, I think. And it's been great. Lots of exciting stuff. And I think that's the bridge. We're going to start bridging people coming into the crypto space. And then, of course, you guys want to learn more, that's a great quest for us to go to. So, guys, thank you guys so much for watching this episode. And thank you, Alex, so much for coming on this show. And I really hope that match goes really well with Korea.
Thanks a lot, Michael.
Thank you so much, man.